Hello, and welcome to our Freight Perspectives podcast. I'm pleased today that we will delve into one of my favorite topics, intermodal. And I'm even more honored that Adrien Garcia joins us to share his view on this important, but also often underestimated mode of transport. Adrien, before we delve into the topic, may I ask you to shortly introduce yourself?
Yes, thank you, Christian. First of all, I would like to thank you and Transporeon to inviting me to this podcast. Like you said, this is also one of my preferred topic when it comes to transport. So let me briefly introduce myself. I'm a business development leader. I'm sitting in Switzerland where we have the supply headquarters. And my role is leading the innovation agenda, which is composed by three pillars. The first one is e-mobility, mainly focusing on how we deploy zero emission solution within our network. And the second one that we may touch today is building new collaboration and new business model through some new partnership. And the third one is focusing on autonomous truck. Let me also share maybe a couple of figures with you when it comes to the category land, category I represent today within supply chain operation. We are, in terms of volume, having close to 1.5 million shipment worldwide, and almost 70% of this volume is within Europe. And we are working with close to 200 service provider globally. So I'm really looking forward to have this discussion with you, Christian, on Intermodal. Thanks again.
Thank you, Adrien. And indeed, figures are one of the most important topics also, and that's also part of my intro today. So recent figures, as shared by the media, are suggesting that intermodal is suffering. I think during the last few weeks, I read various times, particularly in the German media, about the problems of declining volumes, increasing burdens for intermodal transportation. So that's also, in my view, a perfect time to reassess and analyze this. We performed on Transporeon side based on the data on our Transporeon platform. And this analysis shows a mixed picture. So compared to 2022, for instance, we saw that the number of shippers in 2024 using intermodal services decreased. But at the same time, we also saw that the intermodal share itself on our platform rose from 5 to 7%. So how could that be? Well, a more detailed review we did, we were able to identify and derive from the data a plus in strategic high volume usage of intermodal, so a concentration of lanes which are really suitable for intermodal, but on the other side also a decline in ad hoc tactical volume in intermodal usage. So coming back to the most recent developments, those news in the media regarding intermodal and the problems around there. Adrien, may I ask you to share your view on this and maybe also your intermodal vision? That risk.
Yeah, I think let me start by confirming that at IKEA we strongly believe in intermodal solution. We started this journey some decades ago, and indeed, the market volatility and the volume fluctuation has affected our intermodal performance, especially with reducing the number of train frequency. Everybody has been affected by the rail infrastructure maintenance. I'm sure that most of you are aware of this letter that has been addressed to this Federal Minister of Transport in Germany, but also to the Dutch board, because this is time to really address the topic. It's affecting the performance, and as a consequence, like you said, we notice some shift from rail to road, which is not necessarily the right direction. So what we have done in IKEA is that we have been really focusing on trying to anticipate, trying to learn also from the past about building some resilience connected to intermodal. But because of all this disruption, we had also some time to step out of the intermodal, simply because the solution stopped or because the train frequency decreased. We slightly decreased, but still we are at globally 51% ton per kilometer on intermodal. And if we look at Europe, we are even at 56%. So like I'd say that the first beginning, we strongly believe that intermodal is the solution as part of the decarbonized agenda, which is also in line with our strategy to reduce our CO2 emission by 70% by 2030. But this is also one of the way to build future capabilities and to build the resilience in transport. So I really hope that this letter addressed by rail operator will make the things a bit changing, and that we are getting back with reliable intermodal solution while performing from a train performance and reduce drastically the cancellation, because this is affecting our supply, and by consequence, this is also affecting our customer perception when it comes to our service level.
Thank you. And I mean, these figures are impressive in regards of your intermodal usage. So while others often struggle to start into intermodal or build intermodal services into their supply chains, I saw public news on new services you created. And even when others reduced or stopped their intermodal usages, I mean, you mentioned that there are solutions which were discontinued, but others were created. And in total, you were able to almost keep, let's call it, the level of intermodal on the same level. So can you shortly share more insights and information on such a maybe highlight project or intermodal service you just created recently?
Yes. So, like I said before, we continue to build our supply chain resilience with intermodal as a core component. And we are also learning from past challenges and rethinking a bit the collaboration model. By that, we are starting to initiate some discussion with rail operator together with all logistics service providers in order to move from a reactive to a proactive mode. So how can we anticipate coming disruption connected with, again, rail infrastructure maintenance by having the proper business contingency plan in place? So this is one piece of the new collaboration model we are after, but we also are looking by connecting with other shippers. And I think what you're referring to is the good collaboration we had and we initiated 3 years ago with Inditex, uh, where we have launched in 2022 a block train solution between Poland and Spain Poland. And how we triggered that, it started with some discussion, general discussion, and then we started to zoom in our transport network and clearly identify some potential synergies. Because we all know that the intermodal setup rely on stability of the volume back and forth. Uh, and it's also, transport is an economy of network, and we as a shipper, we are, of course, directly dependent on carrier network stability connected with our customers. So by that, we thought that, okay, let's connect all together, shippers, logistics service provider, and rail operators. And we launched this solution. What I can say is that 3 years after, this solution is still alive. And one of the learning was by getting closer, we are stronger. We are stronger in building resilience. We are stronger in building stability in our flows. And by consequence, we are better performing. So this is a bit what we have. Based on this experience, we continue this journey by connecting with some other shippers. And we recently, not recently, because now it's a year, actually in November last year, we launched another one on Poland, Austria, Poland, with the Wenzel Logistic and another retailer. And it's working perfectly. We have true trend departure. So This is clearly showing that it's time to rethink transport, and this rethinking and new collaboration model has common interest for all of us. Again, having reliable setup with intermodal is supporting decarbonized agenda, but it's supporting us in building future transportation by having uh, concrete capacities and capabilities built. Because we are all aware of the driver shortages, which unfortunately the trend is not positive. So we will continue to have these driver shortages, and intermodal setup is part of building any company growth and having a competitive model. So yes, and one of the success factors is definitely on the people engagement. I mean, business is about people, right? So uh, you need to have the right people having the willingness to be engaged in the collaboration and having the right mandate to decide on strategic movement. So this is what I can share with you based on our last experience. So I'm really looking forward expanding or further discuss this model with any shipper who may have interest into that.
Brilliant. And I think this also goes directly in one of the next things. So you mentioned already, and thank you for that, lots of the hurdles and also how you overcome it. So, in your personal opinion, what are the biggest challenges you see? I mean, I know from my discussions with carriers, with shippers, that the volumes are often limited or heavily fluctuating, that the operational processes are more road favored. And you mentioned it also, finding the right partner, that this is one of the biggest hurdles. I mean, these are the things I really often hear in the discussions I have with carriers, with shippers, basically our customers. Are those the same you have, or have there also occurred other challenges which I haven't mentioned and which you often see when trying to create such new services?
Yeah, um, I, I I say maybe similar challenges. One of the biggest challenge is to secure volume stability to operate this solution, um, while managing all this potential disruption. So one of our focus is again looking at this synchromodality. Whenever we have disturbance on the challenge, how we can activate BCP and switch back to road for part of it. How can we anticipate the period during the year where we will need to have this balanced volume between intermodal? So it's how we are together and again with all the actors. So by that I mean logistics service provider, rail operators, sometimes other shippers. How we agreed on the concrete synchromodality setup to anticipate disruption, because this BCP, and it should not be, it should stay exceptional setup, because otherwise it requires a lot of agility and flexibility from all angles, because this is about reallocating the assets from rail to the road. This is also for us readjusting the lead time, which creates some instability in our stock, which lead to increase on inventory in stock. So this is one of the biggest challenge we have. And I will say, but together, how we can make the things different is it starts with also maybe having proper investment on the terminals, on the intermodal rail infrastructure, and simply having maybe a more joint planning on that. I don't know if we will be able to reach that level, but this is at least what we should aim as a shipper and all actors of the intermodal setup, because we need to again secure that intermodal stay as an attractive mode of transport for any transport buyers. Today, for some corridor, it's not anymore attractive because of performance and sometimes because of cost.
Thank you. So, yeah, speaking about a vision, you already shared it that you hope that this also inspires other shippers, etc., to maybe also contact you and try to explore, a new intermodal solution or new trains to build. But do you also see, something what we from a Transporeon, from a platform perspective, can do to support you and other shippers and carriers in, let's call it matchmaking, or to start into that journey? Because you shared that it is a long time you need to invest in order to explore whether intermodal solution could work or not. So it's not just connecting and deciding to do it. It's a lot of process behind it. So maybe how can we help you or the shippers and carriers out there?
Yeah, I think you as Transporeon, you can play a role here, um, because you are actually in contact with all the actors of this setup. You are in contact with logistics service providers, as mainly everybody is your customers, logistics service providers, sometimes rail operators, and we, as shipper, we also your customers. So you are sitting with different data representing all these actors, and you can clearly support us in identifying the right synergies, uh, and you can play a crucial role in coordinating this collaboration simply by connecting people, and maybe by also support any discussion, because you have such tool, and such you can equip us in getting even better in identifying synergies and in building new rail setup. So this is how I see it, um, because like I keep saying, we all have common interest in this journey, in developing this intermodal. This is always connecting with our company growth. Transport is a crucial part of the company nowadays, and it will be even more in the close future because of the challenge, but also opportunities we see. So I'm convinced that together we can be stronger in building this future transportation. So it's definitely time to co-create it. So, and moving from, let's say, the theory to really acting, and having all the willingness to be engaged in this discussion to make the things happen.
Thank you. And I think that is then also the invitation as shared to the others, to the audience, to get in contact with us if there is concrete interest in trying to achieve something in that respect. So many thanks, Adrien, for your insights, comments, and also the best practices shared. Intermodal, in my view, or regarding the future of intermodal, in my view, I think intermodal, it's needed, and it's a crucial backbone and source of capacity for long distance transport in Europe. If I, for instance, investigate current road capacity KPIs we track on our platform within our market intelligence products and compare it with where the economy is currently in regards of transportation demand and industrial output, I see challenges arising in regards of capacity and available capacity. So in case of a significant economic recovery, and would every capacity source be needed, and shippers and carriers with established intermodal services will benefit, in my view. So they will likely experience smoother operations, lower cost volatility, because I mean the spot prices will go really high in regards of a capacity squeeze, as we have seen in 2022. But also they will have a reduced risks of yeah, I wouldn't call it business failure. I mean, it's just that the operational hassle will really be lower due to the secured capacity. And in my view, And I hope that future productions and their corresponding supply chains are designed or will be designed for intermodal transport. So allowing from the beginning that mode of transport to unleash its strengths and to shape the future and to be exactly that backbone I said in regards of long distance European transportation. So many thanks again, Adrien, for your view and comments, and also many thanks for the audience to listening to our podcast. And time to say in that respect goodbye and stay safe and thank you.
Thank you again. Thank you again.